Hello guys and girls, welcome back to another video. Today we're creating our own impulse responses. Let's go! So welcome back. Today we'll be creating our own IR. If you don't know what an impulse response is basically a snapshot of a sound. They are used for reverbs, they are used for cabs. And today we are going to create a snapshot, basically an impulse response of a guitar cabinet. I have two guitar cabinets. I already did the work, but I'm going to show you how to do it. It's pretty simple. The thing is that you need some tools to do it. So you will need an audio interface. In this case, we can use something like the Nano Cortex, which also acts as an audio interface. I'll be using this because maybe you don't have a dedicated audio interface, but if you have something like this, a Nano Cortex, a digital modeler, they usually have an input and output. In this case, it also has a mic because it can do captures. And so all the tools that usually can do captures can be used as an audio interface, and in this case. Remember that an impulse response is a snapshot of the cab and the mic, so you will need a microphone. In this case, I'm going to be using an SM57, which is the the golden standard for guitar amplification. Also, I only have that, so we'll be sticking with the SM57 today, but you can use whatever mic you have. So if you have an SM58, remove the pop filter, it can work. If you have an MD41, whatever it is. So basically we have the audio interface, which produces a sound. So the sound from the audio interface has to go to the output, and we need a power amplification of some sort. So we need a clean amp. Today we're going to be using this, the Harley Benton GPA100, which is a solid state amp. It's a clean amp. It has a decent volume to power 8 and 4 ohm speakers. The Marshall 2x12 that I have here is an 8 ohm, and the speaker inside the Fender Vibrochamp is a 4 ohm speaker, so I can do both of them with this. And yeah, it's pretty expensive. You can get anything that can power and send a signal in, send a signal out that is as clean as possible. Of course, there's gonna be some coloration depending on what you use. I've so many people use the Fryette power amp. There are a ton of options. Of course, it depends on your budget. It depends on how much you want to invest into creating your own IRs. I like using other people's IRs because they have much more horsepower than I do. But I also wanted to create some of my IRs because I know how they sound in a room, and if I can replicate that into my Nano Cortex, into my computer, I think that is great, even if I get to like 90% there. So now we have the mic, the power amp, and the audio interface. We are missing the file, so we'll be using white noise to do that. There is also a way of using the sine wave, but for today we are sticking with the white noise because it's simpler. So basically you have to go into your DAW and create a white noise sample. Usually in many DAWs there is something, a tool to create white noise, but you can also download that from the web. In my case, I'll be using Logic, and Logic has a white noise generator inside of it. You're going to create two tracks because you need to get that white noise into a separate track to record. Once the white noise is recorded, you have to cut it to a single sample level. Remember to get the part where the signal is above the 0 section. And it's going to be so short that it's going to be a bit hard to edit, at least on Logic. On a sample level, it's going to be a little bit tight. And you have to cut precisely at the sample level, and this way you'll have a kind of a pop sound, a click sound, which sound like this. So this sound has to go out from the audio interface to the power amp. Some people suggest that the sample is normalized. Some people suggest to normalize it at -6 dB. For my personal use case, I have to keep the power amplifier at the maximum to get a decent volume out of the 8 ohm cab, and so I left it at 0 dB. there was no clipping going on, so just be aware of that. That is the system that worked best for me. So now that we have the sample in the DAW, we have to route it to get it into the power amplifier. So you have to select the output that you have and possibly a mono output. The signal goes to the input of the power amplifier and the output goes straight to the cabinet or the speaker. Now you have to create a track with a mic. You can of course try different mic positions. I tried a couple because I already knew which one I preferred in this particular cab and also in the little vibro champ. I keep pointing there because the amp is there. And so now the only thing left is to record. So now we have the audio, which is basically our IR, but we need to cut it. I prefer to cut it right at the start and cut it at the end when there's basically silence. It's gonna depend. I prefer to leave it the length, maximum length. And that's it. That's basically our IR. So now the only thing left is to export this audio. And when exporting it, just remember to normalize it so that it sounds as best as it can. That's it. You can load it into your DAW, into your IR loader, into your Nano Cortex or whatever, and that's it. That's the sound. And so this is how it sounds. Pretty cool, right? I think it sounds really good, and I think it sounds accurate as what I usually hear in the room, and especially how this cab sounds mic'd with the SM57 in this room. Hey, editing Sergio here. So I was hearing the clips back to back, and I noticed that the IR that I created, they tend to be a little bit more muffled, but it's nothing that you can fix with a little bit of EQ. And it's something that I will try to fix in a future video where I'll try the other methods. So stay tuned for that, but right now this is the best result that I got, but it still sounds good. It doesn't sound as crisp as the mic itself, but bear in mind that I kind of moved the mic around, so maybe that's the issue that we're having, but I will check it out further in future videos. Yeah, so I will leave in the description to download these two IR, the one from the 2x12 and the one from the little Fender Champ, which has a Jensen P8R into it. And yeah, it sounds killer for cleans and for slightly overdrive stuff. I don't know if it's useful for death metal stuff, but try it and see where it takes. And so yeah, this is it for today. Let me know in the comments what you think. Subscribe if you want to support me. Follow me on Instagram. I also have a Patreon if you want to support me even further. And yeah, don't forget to try this out and let me know. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!